All right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah. Coming this evening with a message. As you see, the title is Going In All the Way. Going in all the way. I got a few chapters and verses I want to cover. Uh, they were they've been heavy on my heart yesterday and today. I didn't get a chance to really do a deep study, but I feel good about just coming here this evening and uh, speaking regarding these topics. And like I say, I haven't done my study, but I'm going to trust in the teacher that is within me to take me through this message. There's several verses came to me today, several chapters and verses, and I'm going to cover it. Uh, but I'm going all the way. I'm going all the way in. Another topic that came to me was the narrow gate. That was one of the main ones that came before me. The other one was he didn't give us a spirit of he gave us a spirit, a certain kind of spirit. Let's put it like that. I don't want to give the whole thing away before we get to the chapter and the verse. But my heart has been heavy, really, really, like really heavy, you guys. Um, Being so, he said something to me uh, this past week where many people were celebrating what they call the New Year's. And uh, during that time, he brought something in to me, and it was really heavy because I spoke to you all about it. I even said I salute it, and how he come to me, and I'm just bringing it to you all because he come to me. And with that, it comes with a lot of unanswered questions. Um, and in it all, I have already accept that it's not going to change. It's not going to change, and that the things that I'm actually feeling is something that's real. It ain't something, how you feel certain things and you just wonder, well, it may be just me feeling this or seeing this like this. No, he was telling me it is what I told you it was going to be. That's what these people are pulling up on. And I'm like, but Father, it has hit my door so heavy, it did knock the door down. He said, oh, yeah, you wasn't excluded, you were included, baby. You see? So my spirit has been heavy. I think it's time for me to kind of, not kind of, but really let go. Let go of thinking that I can really make a difference, you see, um, in those that I try so hard to be there for. You know, Everything that I went after to do, they went after me. It's like I come through the front door, they come through the back door. I I I nail it and I do what needed to be done, and then it's always something else that they do to add on to what I. Okay, I'm coming through the front door, and I say, for instance, if I come in and I complete, bam, 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 they come in through the back door and interfere with what I completed. Mhm. And I asked myself, I said, yesterday I was over there from morning to 7 o'clock. No, about 7, 8 o'clock that night. I mean, for real, y'all, turning that house upside down, doing the cleaning, like I told y'all, doing what I know I do best. And throughout that time I was there, I know for a fact that the Ruach was in full support with what I was trying to do. It's no way it could have been done. My oldest daughter called and she said it'll probably run you a little if you get a company. I said, yeah, not only that, they come in, they give you an estimate, and then you pay. Then they'll turn around and tell you have to do it for a year, every month, or every month, and then you sign a contract like you're gonna pay them every month for a year. No, I'm not going to do that. When I know that the way I do things, I can go in and I know how to do it, child. That's what I'm saying. But the Spirit had been dealing with me because I went right back over this morning again. So I went Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I was so hurt because while I had done so much and successful, one of my sons, which is the oldest one, he came in and it was a mess, y'all. I was like, no, he didn't. Oh, yes, he did. But at that same time, all that time I was there, which I'd already put in probably a good 20 hours or more. The Spirit was talking to me. He said, remember what I told you. It's not going to change. And it's almost like, okay, Father, I need to stop praying and trying to plead with you for deliverance and for salvation. And I think many people they're lost. Many people are more lost. There's more people. I go 99.9 because we really think we're supposed to pray for every and anybody. I'm going to tell y'all, there's many times you find in your study guide where it's talking about praying for your enemies and praying for those who spitefully misuse you and abuse you. I don't think that's something that the Creator really want us to do in the way it is printed out, because He also told us to obey our master, you see. So it's a lot of things you have to be very careful. And that's what the Father was dealing with me. It was like He was saying, you said, and it is done. And it was like He was saying to me, whenever you're ready to let go, let go. That's what He was saying to me. Let go. Because I realized that I come here in a little black box. And the little black box is a little black box. I believe I come here in that box. And that box is it's something that has to be, because this is the way, the will of the Father. It ain't His will for me to be in the little black box. It's okay for me to be in the black box because I'm in the black box because those who are here as the serpent seed, okay, those who are walking that born of the flesh, okay, those who will come to serve darkness, that's what they good at. They good at thinking they can box up the light, okay. They good at thinking they can box and put the light into a box, and as long as they don't see the light, they good. you see. And I realized that the Father was saying things to me while I was doing all this cleaning. And it was like, you said a word and leave it alone. In a sense that you're praying for something and you've been praying all these years. Not to say he can't come up, he can't show up and show out. Oh, yes, he can. He can show up and show out. But he's pretty much saying to me that you're crying out for something that I have already prophesied and already has finished. And even though you teach it, you want to still pray that there's still hope and there's still a chance, you know. And he was saying to me, but do y'all know that's the problem that's going on in the world today? This is why so many people are walking directly into the broad gate, because they can't see no other way but the broad gate. And they walking in the broad gate, and we praying to the Father that they go into the narrow gate. I'm just using that example. We know we can't pray next to the Father to take them to the narrow gate or let them go in the narrow gate. Why? Because it's finished. It's done with. But it's more so praying for salvation and deliverance, praying for their minds, and you praying, you doing all this praying. But when you understand heavens has already assigned each and every last one of us to our eternal, then we got to rethink this thing about praying for everybody, wanting everybody to go in the narrow gate, everybody to be the light, everybody to have salvation, everybody to be redeemed. We lost, because especially when it come down to our family members, those that we love in the flesh, we tend to want them to have salvation, and we praying and praying and praying. And the more I look at it, I want to run, because I'm seeing the tear on one side and the wheat on another. I'm serious. I can see it so clear. I'm telling you, I can see it so clear. And the Father is like said, whenever you're ready, say it. And I'm so afraid to say it, because I know how he have rumbled with me. I go to the Father on anything. Let me tell you, he'll pull up real quick and do something that you be like, oh my goodness, I didn't know you was gonna do that. You see, I'm telling you my life. I'm telling y'all what I know. So I'm like, I'm over here and realizing it's nothing I'm gonna do. Nothing. They're gonna get me out that little black box in the eyes of all of those who have put me in there. That's powerful. You sitting here praying, seeking the Father through prayer, because you know about that right hand. You know about that stretched out on. You know him like that. You can do that. You can roll up on him, and you know he's going to pull up and pull out. But you asking him to do something and to redeem and save and fill them with the Holy Spirit. You asking him to do it to those that can't see you nowhere but in that little black box. That's it. They cannot see you no further than in that little black box. And you sitting here for years praying and salvation, and you know truth. See, when you know truth is when you know that heaven's got everything broke down in twos. The twos coming back to the kingdom, but one going in eternal fire and the other one going in eternal heaven. That's two. You know that already. So if you're down here on the earth and you represent the light, you represent spirit and truth, and you're constantly praying for those that you've seen and they have proven They the opposite of who you are. It ain't about being a daughter. It ain't about being a mother. It ain't about being a sister. It's about who we can put in that black box so that we can be the best that we can be outside of the box. Many people do not even understand when Yah when he brought us into a family, okay, even amongst our parents and our siblings, even amongst me being a mother and a grandmother, we don't even understand Yah have already sent the majority of them already to the lake of fire. And you down here because you feeling a mother, you feeling to be a sister, you feeling to be a daughter, and you just praying for deliverance and salvation and redeem and all these things, your will, Father, not my will, and praying and praying and praying. But guess what, y'all? When you come to the light and you know it's the light, it's time to leave all that darkness behind. That's what he's been dealing with me on, as far as thinking that I can drag them into the narrow gate. You can't, Deborah. They don't know the way and they don't have the way. You cannot bring people into the narrow gate because their spirit is already predestined its way. So you can't bring them into the narrow gate because you know that you are anointed, that you know the way to the narrow gate. You can't bring them with you. And that's one problem I know that exists here on this earth. That's why many people will refuse to follow the light. They will refuse to accept spirit and truth. That's why a lot of them on this devil platform, they will teach that Hebrew, Israelite, and all that mess all the wrong way because they refuse to go in the way of righteousness. They refuse to go in the way of life because they can't take everything and everything they got and everybody they know in the same direction. And they're not even there, but they want everybody to go. They want everybody to go in the direction that they are going. And they don't understand you got them going where you're going. And that's straight to the broad gate. And this is what he's saying to me. You can't bring them to the narrow gate, baby. You already know what took place before the foundation of the world, Deborah. Did not I give you the spirit of discerning? Don't use it toward everybody else, and then don't use it toward those who got you in the box. They got you in the box. They got you wrapped up in the box. But you still crying out for salvation and deliverance, and that he will pour out his spirit upon them and he will renew their minds, and he will no, my heart is heavy because the Father has shared with me his will is not my will, his way is not my way. I don't know who and what put that in the way where it wants you to be crying out to who? To him for something that's down here that he already got directed for eternity. We wanting him to come in and fix everything and everybody. And I realized what Abraham was doing with Lot. Abraham wasn't seeking nothing for Lot on behalf of Yah. Yah knew that Lot was Abraham's nephew, I think it was, or something like that. And that was, Abraham always took care of him. But when it came down, Lot went to Sodom and Gomorrah. He was there all that time. So don't ever think that Lot wasn't doing what everybody else was doing. Don't even think like that. It was all because of Abraham. But see, with Yah, he'll say, okay, that's cool. That's fine. I know who I got predestined to the end. You won't go to it's so many times that Yah had servants that would never enter into eternal life in the kingdom. No, they won't. Oh, we on this earth would say they will, but they won't. Because he cut them off right down on the earth. And that was because he knew they would go into the direction that they went into. So my heart, and it's my spiritual heart, because I'm going to have to let go. I ain't gonna have to. I'm going to let go. Because I realize I'm not getting out of this black box, y'all. Sister Deborah's not gonna get out the black box. They ain't gonna let me out of their black box until they realize they can't use me no more. They can't misuse me. And that many of you all, I'm saying this to you, but you really don't. You really don't understand what I'm saying. I know that I'm the light in my family. This light that they have, they think they got it in the box, but this light is getting ready to be from amongst them. Now that they don't have no light, now what? See, a lot of y'all didn't understand that, did you? Y'all hear me hooping and talking and hollering. And I ain't hollering, but hooping and talking, but you ain't paying no attention to what I'm saying. I'm giving the choice. Move if you want. I'm right there for you. That's all he's giving me. He's giving, which is a beautiful thing. Let me know, move. Because you the light of it. When it all said and done, move. Because it's nothing going to change, you guys. I've been the crutch. I've been the one that fixed everything. I sit back and think, and I was telling my son that's in Colorado right now at the ski resort, I said, when I look back over my life and I realized I was married all those years and only one brought me through was y'all. I wasn't telling him that I realized that now. I've been realized that. I've been realized that. If I told y'all would say, Deborah, you need your butt whooped. Yes. So I'm just saying to you all, I know where my help come from. Many of you all have to trust in your own hands to be your help. And that's what you believe in, your own hands, your own self. That's your help. Because like I say, we're here. We're here, y'all. Things going to be snatched quick. People going to look up and they going to realize what they had, they ain't got nothing. That's how it's going to go. But it ain't going to go to where y'all going to take you from here to there. No. Because that's what you serve, what you have. That's your God. But I say, and I was telling my son and telling him that's how, with all these kids and me, because it was never like, I ain't going to get into that because it doesn't pay for me to really keep breaking this down, because he spoke to me this evening regarding it. It was like it ain't gonna change. People ain't gonna get it, Deborah, and that's what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna get into these verses in these chapters, and I'm going all the way in, and I'm gonna show you how far from anything that's actually taking place many of you are distant from. I mean, from the level of even understanding it and comprehending it. So my thing is, I said to the Father, only you can make that way. You know my going and my coming, my ups and my downs. I'm trusting you to make that way. And it's almost like when I do, move on it. You see? And I'm so assured that I will, because what he was speaking to me about in the last couple of days is it's not going to change. And then on what they call the 1st of January, he was telling me that we're living in a time, Deborah, now. It's going to be plainly seen. It ain't going to be no struggling trying to figure out, is this person like this? Is this person going to do this? Is this person like this here? Surely this person might do something different. No, he said it ain't going to change. It ain't going to change. He said what who people are is who you're going to find out. They have been all this time. And when he brought that type of thing to me like that, I'm like saying, is it just me? No, he said that's what's happening in this world today. People going to see people for who they are. And it's going to hurt them. And that's what has been happening ever since he spoke that to me. And like I tell y'all, I like the idea that he can speak it to me and I can feel that thing. Feeling that thing, experiencing what the Spirit of the Most High Yah had just spoke. But I know it's not me that he's speaking just to. It's me that he's given the warning to give you all the warning. There's going to be a time, there's going to be a day, and this day that we in, it can be any day of this day, the next day, you're going to see people for who you knew that they were like that, but you wasn't sure, or you knew something that you just wasn't quite wanting to just category the person being this way. They're going to show. What he's saying is darkness about to reveal in themselves to the light. So the light is about to behold the level of darkness, even if it's among our loved ones, our kinfolks, our community, our fellowship place, our place to worship, our workplace, our friends. The wheat has been separated from the tare. Now the Father, and it makes a lot of sense. It might not make no sense to y'all, but it does to me, because he's saying it's time, y'all. Because everybody's playing. Everybody's finding time to be playing out here. And how are they playing? They don't see what's going on in the spirit. That's how you playing. The first and foremost, we need to be seeking the spirit, the realm of the spirit, to identify all this darkness in the flesh, because you ain't gonna be able to see it. So everybody proclaiming they have the ruach in them that would give you the insight to see these things, and you're still not seeing them. That's because you don't have what you thought, and you keep saying to yourself you got, because it takes you to tarry. Wait on that. And when it comes, let me tell you something. As a living witness, you're going to know it, and ain't nobody going to take it from you. And you ain't going to have to prove it to nobody. But you're going to know that you have it, because it's going to deal with you from the inside. So he's saying that the time that we're in, not time, I need to stop saying it, the day that we're in, everybody's going to be revealed. So when I'm sitting here telling you all, he's just telling me, okay, now let me know when you're ready. And you know what? I poured, y'all. I poured because I'm like, I'm scared. But Deborah, you got to be willing to let go. I know it. When you see y'all like that, you don't have no hard time letting go. I know exactly what he's saying. How he broke it down to me, he said they got you in this box, this little black box, and they ain't gonna let you out, baby. You didn't come here to get out of their little black box. You come here to stay in their black box, because long as they think they got the light boxed up in a little black box, they got it going on. You see, and a lot of us are walking around here and we fail to realize, and I said, I'm going to write a book. He said, for what? The book has been written in the kingdom. And it's walking it. The people are walking it on the earth. I separated the twos, Deborah. No one understand. And it comes out of your household where you love, as they call love, hard, deep. Then when you really look at it and you really measure that thing, when he says, you think I come to bring peace? But then you hear every time, well, he want us to have peace. He want us to have peace. How confusing is that? You see? You see what I'm saying? Here he's telling you, Yeshua came telling you. Hamashiach spoke over Yeshua. So you can get the power of what he was saying. You think I come here to bring peace? Nay. In a sense, no. So this is all Yah is saying to me. Make a choice. It's yours. It's yours. And what he's saying is, when I let go, he got me. And no matter what happened, he's still happy. Teaching me is what he's going to do to learn to accept that those who got me in the black box are not on my side. And the reason why many of you all won't let go is because you don't know really what side you on. You want to hold on to the side because your flesh feel that's the real side, because it's closest to your flesh heart, your flesh mind, your flesh care, your flesh loving, and you can see yourself seeing it for what it is. I was sitting down today and I saw a YouTuber, this European lady. Her son, I guess she had told him to get off the game or whatever, and she turned the Wi-Fi off so he couldn't play his game system. If you all seen how that boy came after his mother, it is a time. This is the same one. I would say if it was my son, I breastfed that child. I went to parents teaching programs. There at every activity, every sport, I was there. During the summer, enrolled them in everything they need to be in. So I was there. I mean everything. And it don't matter what you did. It's all vain and vax. Because just because you did all that, don't mean they the spiritual seed. Don't mean they the light. They still can be the one that he divided from you. So he said, I just said a word, Deborah. Meaning, if you said a word, I'm there. I got you. I like that job. Because I know in my deep, I know he got me. And that's the thing about it. Those few days I've been thinking about it and saying, Father, they're not even on the same side as you and I. No, they're not. So what are you holding on to? They have shown you through how many years? And I was just, oh my God, it's been a lot of years. And I started thinking about it. And I have never seen, I'm going to show y'all something. The devil, like I know him to be today. Because Yah has allowed what he had. He completed his task. He deceived the whole world. I was sitting down talking to you all and my video cut off, right? And I said, let me show y'all something. Let me show you something. As I was sitting online, right on the right-hand side was a face. And the face was my ex-husband. He was lying down in the bed. Same bald head, nose shape, everything. While I was talking to you all. And I said, let me show y'all something. But I'm going to show y'all. And I want y'all to see this here. I want you to see this. What I I'm gonna tell y'all what I've been learning is I've seen, not seen, yes, I have. Let me go and say seen. I've seen things moving, happening, and I mean, and it's not me doing it. So this is a part of what he was saying. The principalities, they're not in high places, they down on the earth now. You see? A lot of things, if I mean when you get to the point where you start to hear, here it is. Let me show y'all. See if y'all can see that. Can y'all not see that? I got the phone up, but can y'all see that? I'm gonna give it to you. That's him in the bed. Do y'all see that? Wait a minute. Let me so you see the nose and everything. Can y'all see that? I don't know if y'all can. Sister Deborah got a cracked phone, and this is the way he was. Give me a thumbs up if you can see it. Here he is. That's my ex-husband lying down. But that's my room, y'all. He does not stay with me, and I do not stay with him. I was on live with you all. Can y'all see it? You see that? Now, if you saw him in person, you'll say, Deborah, no, you going crazy. No, you will say, that's him. He was in ICU. But I was sitting here on live talking to you all, and I said, y'all, wait a minute, let me show y'all something. This is what I wanted to show y'all, but I was going to show you it by turning my computer around. Next thing, my laptop went out. And I don't know if y'all remember that. I was showing y'all. That's him right there. The spirits now are doing all kind of things. Now, just imagine, I'm on live talking to y'all. And why did I see that? I'm like talking to you all, and there that face showing up on my wall. They out here, big time. I'm not afraid of them because I already know, because I had to deal with them when I was a little bitty girl, seeing them. And I used to ask the Father, why are you allowing them to be in my presence? That used to mess me up all the time. I used to ask the Father that all the time. And I was a little girl. I mean, I was under 10. And I'm telling you, this principality in high places is not in high places no more. The battle is on the earth. Because we're in, that's what this day, when it said in that day, that's what it's all about, y'all. In that day, chaos hit the land. And that's what it's all about. Who can bring the chaos? The things you cannot see, but yet they're present. So I know for a fact that they exist, and I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. I didn't use my phone and wonder, I didn't type that. So how did they get on there? I don't deal with no AI, AZ, AP, no, and nothing. I'm wondering how is it when you know what, y'all, let me give you an example. Quiet Storm sent me and said Happy New Year's. And I looked at it, I said, oh, he said Happy New Year's. I didn't say nothing back. Do you know when I looked at, an hour later, I looked at my phone, I see his thing saying Happy New Year's. Guess what my phone said to him? Happy birthday. I didn't say nothing to nobody. Nobody. When they said Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, I did not respond to nobody. And it said Happy Birthday. And I saw that, I said, no, I did. I'm telling y'all, it's real. So I'm sitting over here at this house and I'm trying to figure out, how could you be so stupid? What's wrong with you? And I'm just, it's like, it reminds me of whatever y'all give you the ability to do, put your best foot forward. That's just me. That's me. I'm known for that. But the thing about it, I'm sitting here in this house, just thinking about this demonic stuff. I went to see my ex-husband the day before yesterday. What today is? Sunday. Saturday morning. He's in ICU. I got up to the room and I said, oh my, I'm so glad they got a bathroom. I got to use the bathroom. I come out the bathroom and this man said something so nasty. So nasty. And I'm like saying, did not you just have a stroke? And he just grinning with his eyes all, woo, Father, y'all help me. So I'm just saying how dark everybody is. You know, dark. They tell me that it is my responsibility to take care of their father. I said, if y'all really, they always telling me that. I said, you want me to tell y'all something? Honoring your father was supposed to be you all taking care of him, not me. I'm not married to him. And it hurt me for them to be all on one accord. I said, tell me, and one of y'all, when have y'all saw him take care of me? I didn't get flowers. I didn't get a card. I didn't get a Mother's Day. I didn't get a birthday present. I didn't get an anniversary present. I didn't get nothing. All the time I raised him up. They never saw him give me anything. But I'm supposed to take care of him and make sure that's y'all job. That's another part of what the Father was saying. Let him go. Let them all go. They want to keep you in the box. And that hurt. Because I said, and this is what I told my son in Colorado. I said, now, and you know, y'all all saying it. I said, and I remember the times where y'all thought it was so funny. He said, maybe we shouldn't have laughed then. But it was funny, Mama, then. We were young. Yeah, but that's why y'all just like him. And it don't bother you. You see? Y'all are just like him. And it don't bother you. So it's been a if you all knew what I went over there to do and what all I did, I bombed the top, the second level, took all sheets, clothing, everything out of rooms, y'all, everything, wiped everything down. Mattress went outside in the dumpster. My son said, how did you get this here? He said, you've been doing that for years. See what I'm saying? You wait on them, you're going to have to argue with them. You see? Those days with me dealing with them, when I say something, I don't go for saying nothing back. Or else that whole house is going to be turned upside down and they're going to hear me. You see? So I don't want none of them around. Don't talk to me. Don't say nothing. Get out of my way and let me do what I'm supposed to do to clean this house up. As soon as I left, he tore up all the bags that I had the clothes in to wash. Spread them around the house purposely. Ooh, it sound, y'all might say, but it sounds so petty, Deborah. Oh no, it's deep, y'all. And that's what I'm telling you. I'm over there and the Father dealing with me said, say the word. Say the word. Say the word. And I'm like holding back, saying, oh, Father, I'm gonna tell you, if I say the word, I'm afraid what he gonna do. Oh, Father, yeah, you know I know you. I know you, Father. You know I know. Oh, no. Oh, Father, if I said a word. Oh, and I said, okay. I'm going to give it up. I said, Father. So y'all got it now. That's it. I gave it up. I said, this here is exactly what he said. It ain't gonna be no different. And I said it's a sad thing. And then I thought about my father and my mother, and they had 7 kids, and how we came up. Not like that. Mm-mm. And when your children don't follow, or it's not follow, but you raise them yourself, like you were raised the way you came up, but yet you cannot move, take it out of the children who they are. You can't take it. I don't care if women think they doing something when they give these babies, and they taking care of them and raising them. They mind until daddy come out of them. Then you realize it's too late. Then that's what you see in today. All this killing, all this mess that's going on. That's who's coming out of them. He said they're worse than their forefathers. That's what day we're in, and everybody in full denial. And that's okay too. But and then he brought me to the narrow gate. He was saying that you can't bring them to the narrow gate. And that it made he was just talking to me about a lot of things, and that ain't so true. He was just saying you people thinking they're gonna be able to take, and they're gonna be able to do so well with y'all to where they think they're gonna bring them. He said they ain't going nowhere. No way. So let's go with Luke. In the book of Luke, chapter 13. In the book of Luke, chapter 13, verse 23. Let's start there. We're going to go down to 28, but let's start with the book of Luke. I just had to give you a little insight of my struggles in the last couple of days. And I'm going to tell you, I would be in some type of mental hospital if it had not been for the Holy Spirit. The book of Luke, chapter 13, verse 23. We're going to go all the way. And verse 23 says, and he went through the cities and the village, teaching and journeying toward Jerusalem. Nope, that's not it. I'm sorry. Luke chapter 13, verse 23. I'm all the way up in verse 22. Verse 23 says, then said one unto him, Lord, are there few that be saved? And he said unto them. Now somebody is asking and saying to Yeshua, are there few that be saved? And he said unto them, listen to this, strive to enter in at the straight gate. Who can tell me what strive means? Strive. He says, Yeshua is answering. Strive to enter in at the straight gate. For many, I say unto you, will seek to enter in and shall not be able. Now I'm gonna bring that. I'm going all the way. You get mad if you want to. Fly a kite. How about that? Now here they asking Yeshua, are there going to be a few that be saved? And he said unto them, strive to enter in. Okay, press forward and press through. Okay, strive means press forward and press through. Okay, so he's saying strive to enter in at the straight gate. For many, I say unto you, will seek to enter in and shall not be able. See? Now, the reason why I brought that up is I thought about what the Father was telling me. You can't bring them through the narrow gate, Deborah. Why is he saying that? Because they're not assigned. And just because they are your children, they're not going to go in. How about that? How about that? Okay? The narrow gate is assigned the way of those who Yah has assigned it to. And just because Abraham had Lot ain't going through that narrow gate. Lot is not going through no narrow gate. Okay? So here, as you see it, it says, strive to enter in at the straight gate. For many, there go that word many. And a lot of people play around with the word many. But if they only knew the number that's detached to when Yeshua, HaMashiach, and the Father say many. Woo! If you only knew. But he said, many I say unto you will seek to enter in and shall not be able. Why? Because the narrow gate has been assigned to those Yah has assigned it to. So it's no such thing that everybody coming in. I know it. That's what they preach and teach, and that's what everybody thinking. No, it isn't. And then what is the narrow gate? Anybody? Do you know what the narrow gate is? Where do it lead? Let's put it like that. Where do the narrow gate leads to? But whatever it leads to, Yeshua said many going to try, Deborah, to enter therein and will not. So where do the narrow gate lead to? Anybody know in the life? Eternal life. Perfect. You hear that, child? Eternal life. Well, why are they going to be trying to go in, Father? Yah? That's what he's saying. That's what he's telling me when I was there doing the work today. This thing is so sealed. And Yeshua is not going to be able, no angels, nobody going to break through this. It's going according to that Father's way and his order that he got set up. Now listen to here. And it says here that when once the master of the house is risen up and has shut to the door, and ye being to stand without, and a lock, and to lock at the door, and to knock. Let me read that right. Let me put this down. Verse 25. When once the master of the house has risen up and has shut and hath shut to the door, and ye being to stand without and to knock at the door, saying, Lord, Lord, open unto us. And he shall answer and say unto you, I know you not, hence you are. So it's really for real that many people are going to try to enter in to what? Eternal life, y'all. You know who those people are? The people that's clowning down here portraying that they holier than thou. Oh, I got the ticket to the kingdom. I got the keys to the kingdom too. I know I'm going to Mount Zion. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because those who are going to be taken to Mount Zion, do you all know they're going to reign in the kingdom eternal? Did y'all know that? They're going to reign in the kingdom eternal. That's what a lot of people don't understand. Because they thinking they going to Mount Zion and then it's going to be, hey, I know I could. But baby, those people are going to reign in the kingdom forever. He ain't cleaning them up and cleaning their filthiness, giving them all a new heart, a new spirit and all that for nothing. because they're still being prepared for eternal life. They won't see the hell. No, they won't. Those that's going to Mount Zion, they won't see hell. They're going to see eternal kingdom. So here, Yeshua is telling them that there are going to be many. Because I guess one of the disciples said, is it just going to be a few that be saved? And he said there's going to be many that's going to try to go through the gate, or to go enter into the gate, and shall not be able to. They're not going to even be able. But why would you try to go into a gate that you cannot enter? Isn't that crazy? What spirit of an individual is going to try to go through the gate, the narrow gate, to eternal life, as if it's okay? See, that don't even make no sense. You trying to go through the narrow gate, and you can't. You're not going to be able to. But what makes you think you can just go? Exactly the way people are on earth today. And I've been saying it over and over and over too many times, to where people still are numb to the fact all this role playing ain't gonna get it. It ain't gonna get it. And see, another thing people don't understand, you cannot say that you're going to Mount Zion. You cannot say that you're going through the narrow gate. You're going to the kingdom. You got to do what you're supposed to do now, and hope that you accounted worthy. Not just say, hey, the way the people talk today, they already there, honey. They don't care what nobody say. He already took them to Mount Zion already, because they got their keys and their ticket. And they just think that they just going to walk straight on in. And this is what I learned today, y'all. They think they are going to try to go on in. That's what's crazy. It tells you that that's what many of them going to do it, thinking they going to eternal life. So do you know what type of mindset? That's a powerful mindset, to be born of the flesh, to walk in the flesh, and you walking straight, you thinking you entitled to eternal life, and you down on this earth ain't did nothing to even set an example that you are holy, or that you are anointed, that you are chosen, but yet you're gonna go on through. I was thinking about my son when I was over to the house cleaning up, and just thinking about that same thing, how they're gonna be left. And the main thing I have to focus on is, my thing is, I'm gonna have to focus on where y'all is sending me spiritual. You know, what he wants me to say, what he wants me to do, and whatever he lead me, because he's going to lead me up out of here, y'all. And I know that for a fact. When he told me just say the word, that was more than just words like y'all think. It was a spiritual thing he was speaking to me about. Because the first thing I said, so do that mean that I have to die? No, you don't. You the light. Because I've been trying to pick. Y'all probably said, Deborah, you shouldn't do that, but I have. I've been doing it for years. I would prefer to be wrong, just so somebody else can be right. I've been like that. So I figured I got a relationship with him. I would rather find my wrong and hang on to the wrong, just so someone else can be right. And guess what? It's dying out. I'm seeing it for what it is. You cannot make people right, Deborah. You cannot make people the light, Deborah. You can't. It's a form of embracing what he taught you when you was a young girl, a teenager, as far as what took place before the foundation of the world. Respect that. That was given to you because the tools, that it was a part of tools that he given you to run your journey. Don't give them up just because you want somebody to be right so they can get in. No, you don't want somebody to be right so they can get in. when Yah put you there to be right. You don't flip that. But I've been doing it for a long time. Okay, well, let me search. You know what he said? You know what? I'm gonna tell you what part. You know when it says judge yourself daily? Yeah, that's such a good technique. That is, and even though this old silly lady, she'll still blame herself, just so somebody else can maybe be right. I will, and I know that sounds crazy, but I do it. I ain't gonna sit here and so judging yourself daily is when you're looking within and seeing where you could have gone wrong, or where you've gone wrong, or where you might be wrong. And 95% of the time, I do it, and I just cannot find the wrong. And I think it's more so Yah chastising me, telling me stop trying to make the way they switched it, wrong to be right, right to be wrong, and stop trying to make it that way so people can get in. They ain't getting in, Deborah. You know what I'm saying? And it's a sad thing, because you will wonder, shouldn't you be worried about you? You would think somebody like me would be worried about myself getting in, but I'm not. I'm not. But the way things are on this earth, not from the level of what I'm looking at, and I'm looking from the level of the wilderness, it don't look good, y'all. It don't look good. So here he's letting him know that he's letting whoever asked him, only a few going to be saved, and he tells him, when once, no, he said, strive to enter into the straight gate. Did you know? I didn't know that. I didn't know that, y'all. What does you mean you don't know, Deborah? I didn't know that you have to strive to enter in. You see? It's almost like you have to do something. What was that definition you used for strive? It was I forgot what it was. You had it. To strive to get in. Press forward. To press through. Who's supposed to press through? Who's supposed to press forward? The one that's going through the narrow gate. So it ain't a narrow gate sitting there telling you, go on, you can go. It's a narrow gate, you can go. You all of y'all, come on. And you know what? That's what I looked at. That's why when I saw that definition as a struggle. You hear me? That's the definition I saw. But when I started to read his, and I said press forward, you think of that word press. You have to press. So you saying struggle is almost like the press. So what is it telling you? You're going to have to be doing something. You see how people got it? Oh, I don't have to do anything. I just got to just be who I am. And just people sick. They got all the wrong reasons. All the wrong reasons. Do y'all know? I'm going to tell y'all, you really going to think I'm sick against the adversary. That's what it said. That's what I read. I'm telling you. It almost like she said a struggle, and you was going up against something. So he's telling us that it's something we still, he ain't telling you that you sure have to do it or Hamashiach. He telling us to strive. And when you say strive, it means to press forward, to struggle against the adversary. So what do you all think? You just gonna walk on in. And this is what he's saying to the one that asked him, is only a few gonna be saved? He said many are gonna be trying to get in. But you better take the route and enter into the straight gate. But it's a strive to it. And I agree with that. It really is. Because you're constantly looking back, y'all. We constantly looking back, seeing who we can bring with us. We constantly looking back, seeing who we can pray that go into the gate with us. That's one of our main problems. Because if we focus on just ourselves, guess what? He'll do like he did Abraham. Oh, Lot ain't going through no narrow gate. I can tell you that right now. Lot ain't good. The father told me Lot was just like Solomon and Gomorrah. That's why he started that city. So when him and Abraham had left, when he came there, you know, he was an important man there on that land. So, you know, it wasn't like everybody else practicing this homosexual and all this stuff that they were going on, and Lot and his family was the only one that wasn't. No, it was who Abraham was. But I can tell you this today, Lot ain't going through that straight gate. I can tell you that. And this is what he wants me to know. That they got you in the black box, they got you in a little black box, and you sitting here pleading to me to give them salvation, to redeem them, to save them, to sanctify them, to renew their mind. All this here. Work with them. And they showing you that they only going to see you in a little black box. But I was already in the little black box. I was the person, I was my mother's child that can do anything and everything. I was able to master anything I put my hand to. Always. I was that golden child, believe it or not. So they had to box me up real quick. I'm kind of glad they did. I was explaining to them how my son, I said, now, my daddies and my siblings, why are we so different than me and my children? Why? Because y'all got a different dad. The things y'all do, we didn't do. We didn't do that nonsense. I said, how old are you? I'm 27. I said, 27 years. Have you ever seen me and my sister and them arguing and fussing? No. What this one? You see? It ain't like they fuss either, but they're not a unity. They ain't in one. You would think that somebody like me, all of them will be into a oneness in some shape, form, or fashion. You can't make these children be what you want them to be in the eyes of Yah. You can't do it, y'all. Yah already got his eyes on them. He know what he already created them to be. You can't make someone who come to walk in the flesh and serve the flesh. You can't make them to be spiritual. You can't do it. And that's what mothers do. They think that love that they have for their children is greater than who Yah is. Because he didn't give and gave them their eternal destiny in them. And you sitting here trying to pray that they get what Yah is offering you. But are they walking with you? Are they on the left or the right? Or are they seeking ye the kingdom? Do you see them? Or do they talk? Do they nothing? So their best thing is to make sure they make it so hard for me. And I told them, I said, you know what? I sit back and I watch this here and I'm watching it. It's almost like, even if I was in the grave, but I'm saying this here because the Father told me, he said, even if I was in the grave, they would still feel the same way. I believe that. I believe it because you gave them too much. And when I say gave them too much, you gave them all yourself. That's why. That's what happens. When you give them all of yourself, all they got to show you wasn't worth of nothing. Because if it wasn't for you, they wouldn't have nothing. And not so much as materialistic things, moral standards, respect. They respect everything. And to me, I look at it, and I'm not saying this just to be saying it. To them, they might not feel this way, but I feel that I should have been entitled to respect. Now, they ain't gonna stand up in front of me and talk crazy, okay? But I think it's more than that. You see, putting other people ahead. You know, it's just a mess. It's just a mess, and it's all because all these personalities, all these different spirits. And we're going to get into that as well. Okay. So here you have the straight gate. And I'm so grateful because I'm going to tell y'all something else I didn't say to you. I have never read that. Not in Luke chapter 13, verse 23, 24. Strive to enter into the straight gate. That's telling you you got to be doing something. Just you got to try to work on going into the straight gate. Okay? And then it says for many. When Yeshua, Hamashiach, and the Father say many, y'all better stand down. Y'all don't know what many mean in their numbers. Okay? And then it says, I say unto you, we'll seek to enter. Wait a minute. And I say unto you, we'll seek to enter in and shall not be able to. Who gonna be trying to do that? Exactly what I keep trying to tell y'all. Everybody trying to say they there already. Oh, I'm going. I know I got the Ruach. I know I got the Holy Spirit. I know I got the Father in me. And don't even know where the narrow gate is at. Can you know where the narrow gate is at? The straight gate, can you know where it's at? They don't even know where it's at. But yet they got everything else. That's 99% of people on this devil platform. They don't even know where the narrow gate is at. But they teaching these people. Then this is the one, Matthew's chapter 7. Matthew's chapter 7 and verse 13. Now, this is the one that I've heard. In Matthew's chapter 7 and verse 13, it reads, Matthew's chapter 7, verse 13, and it reads, enter ye in the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. And many there go that many again, be which go in thereat. Verse 14, because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way, which leadeth unto life. And few, was that not what one of the disciples was saying in Luke, where Luke, he said that is there only a few going to be saved? But listen to what this says. And few there be that find it, that finds the narrow gate. Ain't that deep? Few there be that find the narrow gate. So tell me, to find something, what do you have to do? Anybody. To find something, what do you have to do? Do you just stand there? To find that narrow gate that leads to life. One says you have to search. The other one says seek. Both of them are great. That's it. But it's not like you just standing there, right? And the other one says strive. To strive is still a form of an action to get to the narrow gate. So you see, the way that people are teaching it, they just assuming that it's just that easy and there's nothing to it. Now, do you know, I believe, now watch this. I believe if someone had a church and they were pastoring or they were over the bishop or the pastor or the priest over the church, I think that's one of the topics that should always be talked about. And when I mean talked about, broke down so people can understand that the narrow gate is different from the broad gate. Do you know, I do not remember ever hearing them in the church preach that, the narrow and the broad. Never heard it. And it shows you that so much that was never said. So much was never said. And it wasn't like it would have made a difference, but still, when I look back over my life and I stand where I'm standing today and I think about how so much was never said. Okay? So much. So let's go to Matthew's chapter 24. I want to talk about Matthew's chapter 24. But see, both of those in Luke and in Matthew's talking about the narrow gate, it's showing you how there's got to be a search or seek. You just can't be just standing like it's gonna come to you. So it's almost like, okay, let me ask you something though. Let me ask y'all this. To strive to go through the narrow gate, or to what was that next one? That other one was to seek the narrow gate. What would you think it would be like for those who are going through the broad gate? Why is it so many going through the broad gate? Anybody? Why is there so many going through the broad gate, to the broad gate, through the broad gate? Anybody? Matthew chapter 7, verse 13. It says, enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to what? Destruction. So if the broad gate lead to destruction, why are so many people going that route? You get the point I'm making? You get the point I'm making? They don't have no problem going to the what? The broad gate. And it says it leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go thereafter. After what? Thereafter what? Destruction. So how does it look for Sister Deborah to be praying that Yah save and redeem and sanctify and pour out his spirit on those that's going through the broad gate? Listen to how they going. Let's go again. Matthew chapter 7, and that is verse 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that lead to destruction, and many there which go in thereat. They're going in it like they happy, y'all. While you over here praying that they be redeemed, that they be saved, that they be sanctified, that he fill them with the Holy Spirit. And they happy going through the broad gate. They see everybody else going. That's not why people are going through the broad gate. Did y'all know that? Do you all understand? Them going through the broad gate is not saying that they're just being misled. They're not being misled going through the broad gate. They happy, you guys. People, they're not going through the broad gate because everybody going. The broad gate leads to destruction. And many go therein. Don't think people are going to the broad gate by mistake. No. They're going in through the broad gate because that's the way they're living their life, their mind, their heart, their spirit wants to go. They going in happy. While you here, Sister Deborah sitting here trying to take as many through the narrow gate, toward the narrow gate. For what? They happy going through the broad gate. They don't want to go through the narrow gate. But you want them to go because you love them. They don't love you enough to find the narrow gate. They going the way they love. So when you get to Matthew's chapter 7, not Matthew. Did I say Matthew chapter 7? Oh, I did that one already. In 13, it just tell you Don't go into that way. And then it says, be aware of false prophets. No, let's go to 14. Matthew chapter 7, verse 14. Because straight is the gate and narrow is the way that leadeth to life, and few there be that find it. See, it's telling you, you got to seek, you got to search it. Now, do you understand how people want you to think that it's just sitting there and it's going to take them through that? That's how people think that they're going to get to the kingdom. They just, oh, I don't have to do nothing like that. He going to hold me blameless. I don't have to do nothing but just walk. You know, that's the mindset. But I tell people, this is a study guide. Learn the word from the Ruach, and you'll find out something totally different. Okay, so it says in 14, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. And verse 15, be aware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep clothing. Now that's what's happening today. This is really real. But what they didn't do, what they messed up at, is not just false prophets. It's false teachers. It's false pastors. It's false bishops. If you know it's false priests, y'all. Where's priests in here? Come on now. Why just prophets? Do you see that to be an error? False teachers, which come to you in sheep clothing. So really, it's all type of people that think that they hold administrative position of pastor, evangelist, prophet, prophetess, priest, bishop, Maureen, seers, watchmen. He's talking about the whole overall, which they come in as sheep clothing, but inward they are raven wolves. What does inward mean, y'all? And I think that's kind of really sad, y'all. Because see, I had to tell somebody yesterday, y'all messed up because y'all don't know you got an inner man that's more important than the outer man. Do y'all know that's where the downfall is at with a lot of people? They know that they know about their outer man, but they don't know the inner man is what's going to receive eternal fire or receive the kingdom of heaven. People just do not understand that you have a spirit. You see, it's their spirit. Exactly. It's their spirit. And they have no idea of that. They live in their life in this flesh, but they live in their eternal life. It's going to be based on their spirit. But see, their spirit comes down here to allow their flesh to have its way, because the spirit is already predestined its way. And if it's predestined to be born of the flesh, then it's going to let the flesh have its way. But if it's created to walk after the spirit, then the spirit of Yah is going to lead your spirit, and then your flesh is going to have to follow the spirit of Yah that's leading you. It's a big, big difference. Okay, so here in verse 15, be aware of false prophets which come to you in sheep clothing, but inward they are raven wolves. They're gonna get it. They're gonna make it. It don't matter. Look, that broad gate tells you the whole story. And then when it said the narrow gate, it said very few shall find. What is it they supposed to find, Father Yah? The narrow gate, Deborah. That's what they're supposed to find. The narrow gate. That's how simple it is. But they don't want to find it. Because how can somebody find the narrow gate and they don't even found their own spirit? Because they think everything is about their outer man. Everybody, I ain't gonna say 99.9 focus on their outer man. They can give a rat's behind about their spirit man. And that's what they need to be more concerned about, is their spirit man. Okay, so let me go here to Matthew 24. In Matthew 24 and verse 21, Matthew 24 and verse 21. And it reads, for then shall be a great Watch this, y'all. For then shall be great tribulation, such as not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. Why don't people think about that? In that day, which is the day, there's going to be a great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world, or I mean, to this time, nor no, nor ever shall be. So it's going to be a such. This is another thing I don't understand. Nobody to teach about. Do you know what type of time that's going to be, y'all? Do you? And you wonder why this prophet always hooping and hollering about, don't y'all see what's going on? Y'all don't see all this stuff that's happening. Now I'm seeing more women now killing their kids like crazy. And you know what? I think people are numb to murder and death. I think the world is numb to it. It doesn't even fade them. It doesn't bother them. Because I notice nobody says nothing. It never means nothing. Oh, a lady just took and chopped her 2 kids' head off. And it's like, and what's next? Oh, this one did. It's just like no one has. It's like something is missing in people. You see? It's just like they numb to. It's become the norm. Okay? So listen to this. It's telling you that this tribulation is called the Great Tribulation. Right then, that alone should cause people who are in the light and teach the spirit and truth to stay so knitted toward the Most High Yah that they don't look to their left, they don't look to their right, they don't look go up, they don't go backwards until they have him in them. And they know they got him. Because this great tribulation, y'all, is never hit the world before. It never hit land on the earth before. And we sitting here acting like we in dumb city, like, hey, ain't nothing going on. Ain't nothing happening. Ain't nothing wrong. It's okay. And I'm sitting here in the wilderness seeing all this stuff taking place and trying to figure out, Father, when they going to see the great tribulation? Too many of them going through the broad gate. They don't care. Okay. So it says, like it never. Now watch this here in verse 22. And except those days shall be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. Now, what is he telling y'all? The tribulation gonna come and go. Because if he have to keep it going, ain't nobody coming up out of this. No one seems to see that should fear people. If he's saying that if he don't shorten this thing, if he don't shorten this tribulation, there ain't nobody coming out saved. And nobody act like this. And I sit back and I see it. I'm like saying, but Father, ain't nobody paying attention. That's why. I'm wondering what's going on. Am I going cuckoo clock on the clock? Or what's going on and nobody's not. And I'm saying this because I'm really not discerning this stuff, y'all. I got the spirit of discernment, okay? And I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling or seeing or beholding and it ain't just a natural eye, it's a spiritual eye in the wilderness. Nobody's responding in the wilderness toward these things. And we are already into tribulation, but everybody act like ain't nothing going on. Ain't nothing. And then he says here in verse 22, and except those days shall be shortened, there shall be no flesh. There shall be no flesh saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. I like that. Because he said, right in the tribulation, mine's coming up out of here. Praise the mighty Yah. He's taking his up out of here. Because he said if he don't, nobody would be saved. So he got to get his up out of here. He's taking his up out of here. So And then watch what it says. This is in verse 22. And except those days should be short. Who are days? The days of tribulation. No, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sakes, those days shall be short. Why? Because see, he's taking his up out, y'all. They're gonna be in the flesh, but he's taking them up out of here. And all because of them, he's taking his up out before that tribulation get to the point where people are not going to be able to handle it. And it's on them. It is on them. You know, he knows who you are. You know who you are. People are not making a difference in anything but themselves. That's all they see fit, is to make a difference in me and maybe mine. That's all people see. And the thing he said, okay, well, just let me know when you're ready. When you're ready to let go, Deborah, just let me know. That's it. You got to let go. Even when he come and he take his out, they're going to be left anyway. You see what I'm saying? He ain't going to let him go because like Lot, letting Lot come out of Solomon and Gomorrah, just because of Abraham. No. You ain't coming out. So keep that plan up, thinking y'all getting out of here, and you're not. So now here in 2 Timothy, I think was another thing he was at me about. 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 6 through 9. Watch this here. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 6 through 9. Okay. Wherefore I put thee in remembrance that thou stir up the gift of Yah. What do that mean? What does that mean? Let's go again. 2 Timothy chapter 1. Okay. And what was my verse 6? Wherefore I put thee in remembering that thou stir up the gift of Yah, which is in thee by the putting on of my hands. What is he saying there? Anybody? 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 6. Wherefore I put thee in remembrance, thou stir up the gift of Yah, which is in thee. You know what I like about that? He's letting you know it's in thee. So all this whole mess on the outside, everybody trying to portray, they got all this and they know how to do this. They know. Sit down somewhere. Stop clowning. The gift is in. I don't know why everybody think. And I'm gonna tell you something. Let me get this here. Wait a minute. He says, the gift of Yah, which is in thee by the putting on of my hands. What is he talking about? And this is another thing that's not on the earth that you don't see anymore. The gift of Yah, which is the Ruach HaKodesh, that is in thee. And what was the first thing it says that it had? When he come in thee, thou shalt what? Wake up the gift, the Ruach, the power. There it is. See, 99.9 don't know nothing about that power. Why? Because they don't know nothing about their spirit. If a person don't know nothing about their inner man, they don't know nothing about the Most High at all. And on this devil platform, that's what they all teach. They want to teach the name. They want to teach who's who and what's what, but they don't want to teach you with the power. You cannot have the ruach without the power, and you can't have the power without the ruach, and you don't have neither nor if you don't have them in you. See, people think that power is their mouth. They think that power, and it has made them think because they can teach and they can get on here and speak to the flesh of many. And those flesh that they're speaking to are those who are already walking through the broad gate. So they'll listen to anything because they think that's the way. They're already heading to the broad gate. So it don't matter. But here in verse 6, it's telling you to stir up that gift of Yah, which is in thee. So it's in thee. That's right. The power of Yah by the putting on of my hands. We're supposed to be using that power that's in our hands because now we have him in us. The first thing we are to receive is power. When the Holy Spirit come upon you, you shall receive power. So if you're wondering why you don't see the power, it's because you don't see it ain't in people. It ain't in them. So you ain't gonna see no power because it's not in them. You're gonna see all the subscribers and likes and giving them all the praise, but it's gonna be without the power. Okay. Those are the people who are going through the broad gate anyway. Don't mess with them. Let them go their way. Okay. Verse 7, 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. For Yah has not given us the spirit of fear. Look at that, y'all. Yah has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power. And of give and gave, and of a sound mind. What is a sound mind? Anybody know what a sound mind? 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. For Yah has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power. What happened? Where's your power? Self-control. Very good. Very good. That's what a sound mind is. Self-control. It's a form of what was that? What else did it? Right mind, a clear head, or a clear mind, a right mind. But you're right, a self-control. That's detached to it as well. The mind of Christ. Okay. So here you see where Yah has not given us. Us is a people that Yah has chosen. And everybody don't have the spirit. You got people who with the spirit don't even know they got the power. You got people who's walking around saying they got the spirit and they don't have the spirit nor the power. This is why the world is messed up. Everybody playing the game. And it says, and Yah has not given us the spirit, the spirit. See, that's the spirit of fear. But the spirit of power and of give and gave and of a sound mind. You see, that's what he give us. When what? He come in us. You see the wonderful gifts that is given to us, that is given unto us, and we're taking it very lightly, running around here with no power. Not even the power to know that he is the word. Not even the power to know that he is all power. And if he's all power, he living in you, then there go your power. They don't know nothing about the inner man. And that's another thing that I think is kind of deep. Didn't hear very many people preach about is the inner man. That caused a lot of people to not to go after their spirit and really and search their spirit and let their spirit get their flesh under the subjection. People didn't right today. Do you know when we're gonna get on that? When he talk about you fight not against flesh and blood, he's trying to tell you all, yes, everybody's in flesh and blood. You can get out here and fist fight. That's y'all don't understand that. Y'all don't understand the Most High, y'all. He's saying that you are not the real battle is not that, y'all. It's that, but it's not that. The real battle is in the spirit realm. They spirit got them out there fighting. A lot of people don't know that. And then you're looking at the fight through your natural eyes, but the fight is deeper than what your eyes can see. So when you're seeing all this killing and all this murdering and all this hate and all this stuff, that it's bigger than the flesh that's hating on people. It's bigger than the fight that you see people fighting. It's bigger than this murdering and this killing that's going on. It's bigger than this here lust. It's bigger than that. Why? Because it's spirit, y'all. Going back to what I was telling you. And you know what you can do? You can also see that as a drop ball. That's a ball that's been dropped. Because if you were to go out and speak to 100 people, and you would see that they have no idea of the power that rests in their own spirit, not Yah in their spirit, but their spirit is what's fighting. People don't know on your job, it's your spirit that's working that job. People don't know that. People don't know in your community, in your household, among your family, it's your spirit. That's why he said, I come to bring the sword. The sword is not to divide the flesh. Mother against daughter, daughter against mother, father against son, son against father, daughter-in-law against mother-in-law. No, it's not to divide that. He divided from the spirit. So what did that mean? It got to come to pass. You see all this line out here? So what he's saying is, Deborah, when they try to make you look like, oh, they lovey-dovey, we did, we family, we this, blood, we blood, blood is sticking in water and all this. He said, all that's a lie. You mean the battle is in the spirit? Yes, it is. That's what he meant. See, a lot of people take it and they talk about principalities and high places. You shut your mouth. The angels of Yah is fighting against the darkness. The angels that's high. They fighting against each other to keep them from even bothering you. Those are angels y'all have. But guess what now? They on the earth. The principality is not up in places. They down on the earth rumbling. And that's why you see all this chaos. You see all these things are happening now at ground level. and in my mind, I'm like, but Father, they don't see it. So what? So what? When it's too late, then they'll see it. It's all, if you really think about it, dropping the ball on that spirit because they lied to the people. Oh, it's a soul. It's a soul. And did you know when you do your search on the soul and the spirit, guess what? Most people tell you that the soul is the spirit and the spirit is the soul. But why did y'all put the soul in there? You could have kicked that out because the Christians added that. Not the Christians, the Roman Catholic added that. It's to keep you from focusing on your inner man and your outer man. That's it. Ain't no such thing as no soul. But it's what they did is they took that, placed it in the book, so you'll never know your way home. What is home, Deborah? You got a spirit that's going to have your eternal home, and then you got a flesh that's going to the home of the grave. So what should we be focusing on, the grave or the eternal? The eternal. But how can you focus on the eternal if you focus on the soul? And they just gave the soul to you and told you that's the part that tells your emotion. Sit down. Y'all predestined the spirit. The eternal, it rests in the spirit of man. You either gonna have the eternal like a fire, or you gonna have the eternal kingdom of heaven. How do you work on your spirit when you don't even know you got any? You're so busy out here thinking it's okay for you to kill 1 million people, and ain't such thing as hell, ain't such thing as hell, heaven. That's the mindset. That's how this world have deceived. Don't ever estimate that Satan did not get total victory out of what he was come down here to do. His mission was assigned to him to come down and deceive the whole world. That was his purpose. That was his mission. You think he deceived the whole world without y'all okaying it? You's a fool. You a live a fool and die a fool. He came down to deceive the whole world. And 99.9 of you all thinking every time something you do that's not right, oh, the devil made me do it. No, 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 no. Devil ain't gonna stand before y'all. Come judge me with you. You gonna be standing alone. Your spirit gonna stand alone. When it's time you go to the lake of fire, the devil ain't gonna say, come on, let me take you down there where I'm going. Your tail going by yourself. Oh yeah, many will be down there with you. You see what I'm saying? That's just how they taught people, and people went their way. You either born of the spirit or either you're born of the flesh. You either one or the other. And I can guarantee you that y'all got you wrote in for eternal somewhere in one of those books. So all this clowning down here and acting like this stuff don't exist and all that, when I cross that bridge when I get there, let me tell you something. He want me to tell you now, there ain't gonna be no bridge for you to cross unless you're gonna cross over in hell. How about that? Get on that bridge. Slide you straight to hell. There's not going to be a bridge. People think they're going to be able to justify, clarify. No. He already had you written where you're eternal. So if you're down here acting a fool, that's your eternal destiny in you living. That's what he said. See, where do I have this at? He says, it's in here, as we fight not against flesh and blood. The reason why people won't tune into that and grip it, then they would know, wait a minute, it's an inner man and an outer man. Ain't no middle man? No. Because even Yah come to reside in your spirit. He ain't come to reside and battle with your soul. Ain't no such thing. The Roman Catholic put that in there so you will never find your way home. And here it is, 99.9 don't know their way home. They don't even understand that you got a spirit and you got a flesh. Both of them have got their eternal destiny written. Flesh going straight to the ground, and your spirit sleeps into the judgment. Until everybody stand, we all have to stand before the Most High, Yeshua HaMashiach. As well, will be present. They're going to be already divided. Goats on one side, sheep's on the other. It already telling you, the goats go to hell, sheep go to eternal kingdom. Everybody making it so hard. And how you know how simple it is? How you acting a monkey down here? What are you doing down here on earth? How are you conducting yourself down here on the earth? It tells you who you're going to be. That's why I said to y'all earlier about judging yourself daily, that no man shall judge thee. Because if you judge yourself, you judge all that ugliness and how you acting a fool and how you conducting yourself and so on. With me, I know the Father's so sick of me. I'm so sick of you keep telling me why you like this, why I can't do this, why I'm like this, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this. Look, you trying to find a way out for everybody else. And the only way you want to find a way out is to blame yourself, to be the fault of everything just so somebody else can find their way out. No, it ain't gonna work here. The Most High ain't gonna let me do it. So you keep on saying, well, maybe did. No matter what you say, it's gonna be like he said in the kingdom. And you ain't gonna be able to ride nobody up in the kingdom with you. So let him go. You got to let him go. And you have to let him go in a way that it is okay. A lot of us are holding on to individuals and holding on to everything. We're holding so firm to everything on this earth. We fail to realize we ain't gonna take it with us. We fail to realize it can't even come with us. It don't even want to come where you going. Oh, Father, yeah. Even your mama, your granddaddy, your grandfather, your children, your cousins. Nobody want to go where you going. You come trying to tell them, come on, go with you. If in the rain or if in the fire, they'll look at you and probably kill you if you keep talking to them. They don't want to go. They living it up down here on earth as this is their home. They have every right to. They have every right to live that way. Why? Because this is their destiny, is to live out their flesh while you trying to get them redeemed. You trying to get the Father pour out his Spirit on them. You trying to get the Father to redeem them, to save them, to sanctify them, to fill them with his Holy Spirit. And you don't even understand. They ain't asking him for that. It ain't even in them to have what you prayed and you hooping and hollering about. We are in a time where there's going to be a lot of deaths, a whole lot, way beyond what your eyes have ever seen. A lot of death. Okay? But I'm telling you, we wanting everybody to come in with us. But where we are at in this day, let them go. They can't come go with us, y'all. They're not going with us. That's why I say it's a sad thing that the Hebrew Israelites think the whole house of Israel and the tribe of Judah, even after he said he gonna purge the rebels and those who transgressed against him, and then he telling them a small remnant, and they think the whole house of Israel is going. And they actually saying that no matter what going on with them, we all going. They do what they want. How just does that make Yah? Were they out here doing what they doing and you gonna come and clean that up? No, they got it wrong. They got it wrong, y'all. That's not what he's gonna clean up. He's not gonna clean up the things that people are doing today, thinking that, oh, he gonna clean me up when I get on the other side. Why would he do that? Well, that's who you came down here as. Because they don't want to own the fact that you either came down here to walk in your flesh or you came down to walk behind the Spirit of Yah. Only two kind of people down on the earth. So when he went to dividing the household, he said, you think I come to bring peace? He went straight to the household. And he told the man, he said, your sperm, I'm bringing division between it. So you thought I was going to bring peace because it's under your roof, huh? You thought I come to here and I'm going to give you peace under your roof. No, I come to bring division. Do y'all know what division? I come to bring the Father against the Son. Woo! They missed that, Father, y'all. Why are you doing that? Because in the beginning, in Genesis chapter 3 and verse 15, I told the Satan that intimacy will be between him and the woman. That's hate against the other. So they got in and followed all of the ones that was the woman's seed, the spiritual seed. They followed Satan's seed. I'm coming to divide that thing up. And you know what I'm so grateful for? He's still doing it. He's dividing it up. That's why all the chaos is in families now. And nobody don't even see it. He's separating the wheat from the tare out of the family. It ain't that he doing separating it now. He already done it. That's why the division is so heavy in the house, in the families today. And it's going to get even worse and worse and worse. And they on these devil platform talking about adult children hating their mama. Y'all, that's the number one booming thing. And these counselors and therapists is giving these children all these lies to feed on to them. And when they finish, they doomed to hell. Why? Because they fail to realize what y'all said. Honor your mother and your father. You rather hear a therapist tell you, oh, it's your mother's fault. It's your mother's fault. Never do they say father's fault. Why? Because the father was the order from heaven. He put the seeds in the father. So the only one can teach the children in the way they should walk would be the seed that comes out of him. He has to teach them. And if they're not there to do it, then who fault is that? You see? It's so messed up to where it's not even worth trying to find it and put the puzzle together. Because the pieces won't come together. They didn't strayed so far away from what Yah created righteous to where they now making wrong right, wrong, light, dark, light, sweet, bitter, sweet. And they content because it's working for them. They content. It's working real well for them. They don't have no problem with it. That's the way people are living. They don't have no problem. So here he says he's come to bring the division. But he let you know, I ain't said I ain't come to your workplace. I didn't tell you I was coming to your community, your neighborhood, your state, your country. I didn't tell you, I just told you I was coming to the house. I come to bring the sword. And that sword is his power to separate 5 in the house, 3 against 2, 2 against 3. What is all that about? Y'all, we got dark seeds in our house and we trying to make them light. We invest in everything we possibly can into the darkness. And y'all want me to send a message to you. Can't be done. They can't go into the narrow gate. They ain't going to find their way. And don't think that Mount Zion is waiting for them because you thinking you're going to be able to take them with you. What sense does it make for him to have 2 books in the kingdom? One to the lake of hell and one to the eternal life. For the one in the lake of hell can come because you going to the eternal life. That's that sickness that we have in our flesh. We think everything the way we see it and want it in our flesh is the way it's going to have to go. He either going to have to take it or leave it. And that's our mindset. He said, whenever you ready, Deborah, let go. I got you. And you know what? That's starting to really feel good. Not like I never knew he didn't have me, but it's starting to really feel good. You know, it's just that me, myself, I've had a lot of things happen in life, and to embrace the fact that it's okay to let go, it's a really good thing, y'all. It's a really good thing. It's a really good thing because you can't take it with you. You know, you can't take it with you. And you have to stop being in a place where everybody think that you're supposed to do everything. They don't feel they're supposed to do nothing for you, but you're supposed to do everything for them. You raised them up. They're out on their own. Let them go. But I myself is separating. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm out. I'm out. I can't do it no more. After even seeing, you know, things happen in the last 2 weeks, and I realized that, wait a minute, what? Oh, you on your way here, Father Yah? or you on your way. Because that's just how, to me, that's where I don't see where it's anything that's gonna level off any good on the earth. And I'm not saying, because what you always say to me, y'all would say, well, Sister Deborah, you got it going on. You got your children, and they seem to be, you know what, y'all? You on a far on the outside looking in. Outside looking in. I didn't blame myself to where y'all ain't gonna let me blame myself no more. He said, you ain't gonna use that, because don't forget, I know everybody. So I'm not gonna let you use yourself so that everybody else can escape and continue in their darkness while you sitting here praying and wanting me to deliver them. Y'all better wake up and realize what time it is. It's time to get up and get to running. Get to running. And I mean, when I say running, I don't mean like really, I need to run to tell you the truth. I need to jog and run and everything else. But I'm gonna get with it. I'm trying to, now I ain't gonna wait till tax season. I'm doing so many, I got so many taxes to do. I ain't gonna wait till that time. I start saying when I'm for tax season, I finish doing all these taxes. I know. And I just told y'all I'm terrible. I'm doing everybody's taxes, y'all. You see what I'm saying, y'all? Who you think they do their taxes? You see what I'm saying? This sister do everybody everything. But then you gonna put me in a little black box. Only time I'm allowed to come out is when I have to do something for everybody. Outside of that, you stay in the black box. That don't even make no sense. Anybody in the live chat, if anybody have any questions, you can pull up with any questions, and anybody in the live can answer the question if they have the answer. But if anybody happen to have a question or two that they would like, go right ahead. Questions. Anybody? And you know what? I'm just reading one of these messages in the live. Let me tell y'all something that's really powerful about um, not understanding the battle in the spirit. This is another reason why people are getting away with so much. Okay, and when the battle is in the spirit, y'all, the flesh get away with it. You see, the flesh actually get away with things. The battle is not in the flesh, because the battle is in the spirit. That means if you battling somebody, guess what? You battling a spirit. Someone says, I love you, sister. I love you too. Do you notice that the sword didn't divide the husband and the wife? Oh, I didn't even know. Oh, that's a good one, ain't it? I didn't ever notice. I never thought of that. It didn't. Oh, it can't. It can't. You know why? When they were two, they were one. Now they were two, but now they're one. You get what I'm saying? He didn't bring the sword between them, because when he leave his mother and father, he cleaved to her, they become one flesh. You see? They become one flesh. But that's something, when you said that, that's still something I never thought of it. But it doesn't say The back husband want me to tell you something that's kind of sad. That no, I ain't gonna say it's kind of just really sad. I've come to accept the fact that even throughout the biblical time, uh, all these marriages was about flesh. Even when they had uh, polygamy, all that was about flesh. And nobody wants to tell the truth about it, that that was a flesh thing that they did back then. In Leviticus 18, he was talking about how all those things they used to do, he said, tell them don't be doing that stuff no more. It's no more like that. And if y'all really see what it was about, everybody just having everybody. Sister having father and father having, all that is in Leviticus 18. Why did he put that restriction and said they shouldn't do that? Because that's what they were doing. It was so out of order. Everybody having looking on the other's nakedness, and sister having sister's husband. They were doing all of that. He put a stop to it. But they don't want to look at that as something that he put a stop to it. They still want to look at it as you can have many wives, and no matter what, you can go in and get many as you can, and all that. All that is flesh. If that, listen to how deep that is. If we took polygamy and we say that, okay, it's right, where is it right? Is it right in the spirit or is it in the flesh? And if it's not right in the spirit, then that's the battle is in the spirit and it's darkness. You see what I'm saying? It's not something that has any detachment to nothing but the flesh and the flesh only. Okay. Taxes. That's why the Most High said whatever. You ready? Yeah, you're right. You're right. And what he's saying is, it's let go. And I'm sitting. You see how I'm sitting here telling you about I got to do all these taxes. And listen, I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna hang myself up like a cuckoo clock because I'm about there. I'm there. But no, he didn't. He never did say he bring the sword between husband and wife, because he had already said when a man leave his mother and father, he cleave to a wife, and now they become one. You see, so he wouldn't be bringing the sword to divide. But I think we wrong by that. I'm gonna tell you why we're wrong. You said here, I'm gonna show you where that's wrong at. You said right here, you notice he didn't bring the sword between husband and wife. The ideal of the sword and bringing division is, he did bring the sword between husband and wife. He brought the sword between husband and wife. The sword is not natural, it's spiritual. You see? The sword he comes to bring the division in the house is spiritual. Listen to what I'm saying now. He did bring the sword, because watch this here. If I'm predestined to walk in the spirit, in the flesh, my purpose is to walk in the flesh. No, not my purpose. Let's say born of the flesh, and my husband is born of the spirit. That's where the division is at. That's where he's come to swing the sword. He didn't bring husband and wife, both of them, to be spiritual seed or born of the spirit. Is there people in the household, both of them born of the spirit? Yes, yes, yes. But what you have to go back to, see if you can find it in your study guide, where there's two coming together in Yah, born of the spirit. Born of the spirit. That's where you would have a hard time right in there. But do he have two spiritual seed, a man and his wife, and a wife and her husband? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. You can be husband and wife born of the spirit. But what we keep doing, we keep getting trapped. The division is to divide them in the spirit. The division was not to divide them in the flesh. Mother against daughter, daughter against mother. It's not flesh, it's spiritual, meaning one is coming to walk in the spiritual, to walk in the spirit. One is coming to walk in the flesh. Now, what is going on? The mother might have a daughter that's come to walk in the spirit. You see, the father might have a son that's walking in the spirit like he is walking in the spirit. It ain't that what they doing on the earth, it's the way heaven sent them down. That's where the deepness is at. That's what they never taught. They dropped the ball right there, you see. So that's why he took up and came back during Yeshua HaMashiach time to really bring it back to the focus. I come to bring the sword. Why now? Because it's time to divide those that are spiritual seed from those that are serpent seed, Deborah. It's time to divide them. Why? Because Yeshua HaMashiach coming to die. And those that are of the spiritual seeds about to be redeemed. See, when we finish talking all day and all night, guess what? This thing is spiritual. And many people can't walk into the spirit realm. Now, say for instance, if it says I come to bring 5 in the family, 2 against 3, 3 against 2, it can be 3 lights against 2 darkness. It can be 3 darkness against 2 lights. It can be 2 in a household, and 1 could be the dark seed, and 1 can be the spiritual seed. All you have to do is use what is in you. If you are the light, you should be able to discern. If you didn't get the spirit of discerning, he said, try that spirit by the spirit that rests in you, and it'll tell you who's who. See, but nobody don't want to do that because it's more of a flesh thing for people. It's more of a flesh thing they want to measure. They don't want to measure that the idea that, okay, and that's what I'm battling with, is the fact that it's okay, Deborah. Don't forget, you know what took place before the foundation of the world. You know I broke everything down in twos. You know I got a book that says the lake of hell and the eternal kingdom called the Lamb Book of Life. You know. So don't come down here and go to Dumb City on me now when you know already that everything been divided into twos. And it does not exclude you. It includes you. You see, once you're able to see the Father like that and salute whatever his will is, you good to go. Because you don't have to come down here and divorce your wife or divorce your husband, or don't deal with your family members because they on the other side and this one, you on this side. No, you don't have to do that. But guess what? In the days that we are in today, this day, they coming for you. They coming up against you. That's what it is. This is where you're going to see why y'all let Satan deceive the whole world. See, people thinking y'all ain't going to show up and show out. Use about a lie. Because he's finna show up and show out. But first he got to let lawlessness, his wrath, his judgment, his fire kindle, and all the things he said coming on the earth. Watch they act like ain't nothing happening. And each time I'm going to turn it up to all of them feel it. Those that are the spiritual seed, they are going to be tried by the fire. And it ain't going to feel good. But it coming to refine and to get you to the point where it's okay, Deborah, to let go. You don't have to sit here and let them do you like that and walk around constantly putting you in the black box so they can pretend that they are the light while you in the black box and you are the darkness. Because that's what they all going to do. He said this is the time where any and everybody, say for instance, you was on your workplace and you wasn't sure about this individual you work side by side with. Guess what? This is where we at. You going to know who that person is. That person going to tell you straight in your face the way they feel about you. That's how your household going to be. Your wife going to tell you how she feel about you. Your husband going to tell you how he feel. Your kids, the kids is already doing it. Telling their mother they ain't got the father around and they don't care no way. So they just out just blurting and just assuming that they got the right because they're an adult and don't even understand, baby. You weep what you sow, but in this day and hour, you're going to weep more than you sowed. Oh, yes, that's where we at. That's where we at. Places that you used to go to, you're going to go and you're going to find out people you knew and people you heard about. You mean this person is, woo, I didn't know that. Woo, you kidding me? When? I didn't never know. Yep, that's how it's going to be now, y'all. And y'all bring that back now. We gonna talk. When stuff like that happen, bring that thing back. Let's talk about it. Because you know what? Whether you bring it back or not, I already know. It already started. So I know what the Father said to me has already took effect. Even when I'm sitting here watching YouTube, people are talking about, I gave y'all a clip of a man. And that man said, he sat there and told y'all, and nobody never said a word. See, this is why I know everybody ain't where they think they at. Because that man on that video, and did nobody say a word. He turned around and he was telling you about it was Adam and Eve. They were supposed to both have dominion. And this man, and sometimes I wonder, is people looking at those videos that I have, or are they just how would I say it? They just coming to the knowledge, and it could be we in the midnight hour. It's time to come to things. It's time for things to come to the light. You see. Now this is another situation. Let me see if y'all could.
A black man who been fighting battles nobody clapped for. Battles in my mind, battles in my bloodline.
Now listen to what this young man is saying, and this is what I have also. I hope you can hear it. I hope you all can hear it.
Strengthen me when I've been silent. Break the chains I learned to call normal. I refuse to let pain make me cruel or trauma make me small. I stand disciplined, no distractions, in purpose, no pressure. Cover my mind, steady my hands, align my steps. Let me heal. And with that being said, in Jesus' name, amen.
He said Jesus' name. But listen.
A black man who been fighting.
Wait a minute. Come on. I want you to hear what this young man is saying at the beginning, because that's the power of truth. Listen to what he said. I'm trying to get it to work.
God, I come to you as a black man who been fighting battles nobody clapped for. Battles in my mind, battles in my bloodline. Battles passed down that I didn't choose.
Did you hear that? Did y'all hear that? He says he's been fighting battles that came down.
As a black man who been fighting battles nobody clapped for. Battles in my mind, battles in my bloodline. Battles passed down that I didn't choose.
See? Could y'all hear that? Could y'all hear that? Oh my goodness. I had to hold that video because I said that everything he was saying, it was a lot of power. But I just can't believe this young man owned that thing. I mean, he owned it all the way. Let me see if I could say what he said right quick. It just to hear him talk. Let me see something.
God, I come to you as a black man who been fighting battles.
I come to you as a black man that been fighting battles.
Battles in my mind.
Battles in my mind. Battles in my bloodline. Battles that came down that I didn't choose. That is so deep, because he's a man saying that young man labored for situation as a black man. But guess what he said? It came down. Oh, that he nailed it. He said it came down. Even down the bloodline. Oh my goodness. Just saying that the four there just done something to me, because he all four was truth. And I sit back and I heard him. I said, and I bet you he's talking and thinking he just saying something, but he don't know the power in the words he's speaking. That young man couldn't have known the power in the words that he was speaking, because everything he was saying made it's truth. And this is how you own it so you can move further. That's how you break the curse. Is you own it. That's how you break the curse. If you can't own it, you can't break the curse. That's why this here same curse that we're in, it's just past 400 years. Do y'all ever recognize that? No. Nuh-uh, you won't recognize it. Nobody won't say nothing either. They won't preach that, will it? Tell us why we passed 400 years. They ain't got an answer for it. You ain't done nothing with the 400. So what you worried about the other 2 or 3 that you still past 400? Why are you concerned? You ain't about the 400 years. Yes, he owned it. He said it came down. Then he said it came down the bloodline, and it came down with choices I didn't even make, because it came down. I mean, he was just the way he said it. You can't see him. He's in his car, but he said something that's very powerful. Yeah. Oh, you got it. Battle passed down. That's what he said. Oh, you got it. That I didn't shoot. You got it. How did you got it? You got it. Because that's what he said. Battle passed down that I didn't choose. See? And when somebody say a battle passed down that they didn't choose, that's somebody willing to own it. It came down. I didn't choose it, but it came down, but I'm ready to deal with it. Okay? That's people who can break that curse. And yes, he said he knows he is, he's the Father's seed. He was saying that. But what he was saying was so 100. It is so truth. So much truth. And it felt good. And that's why I put it on my phone, my cell phone. I kept it. Because just to hear somebody, I can actually say, now I done heard a black man actually own that thing. He owned that. And it's just sad not too many people didn't even listen to it and won't listen to it, because see, that's too much like truth. They can't take it and lie. Okay, let me see if I had anybody else asking any questions. Oh, okay, wonderful. An eye-opener message. Wonderful. At least feel like it. Okay. Yes, I know there is a sword with me and my husband in the spirit. Yeah, but it don't cause you to even be an enemy toward him, or him to be an enemy toward you. You can still remember he said a wife can sanctify her husband, or a husband can sanctify his wife. But it's just where we at today. It's just where we at today. But to me, if you got somebody and you all are together and you're able to live together and you still serving your Yah, go for it. Just let your light shine. Don't force his light, or don't force him. You see, if he's willing to stand there and see your light and see how you conduct yourself, you know how you can show up. No arguing, no fussing. Make it easy for him. You see, that's all you have to do is make it easy for him. And that'll blow his mind right there. Wait a minute. She ain't fussing, she ain't arguing, she let me do You see, because when it all said and done, the division was spiritual. It wasn't flesh. It was what you have in your spirit. And the more I'm gonna tell y'all, I realize the more I talk spiritual, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. It's gotten just that bad. Because it's time for the terror to own themselves. At a time, they was with the wheat, and you really couldn't tell which was which. But now he has separated them. That's all. This is what this here battle is in the spirit. They're totally separated. They're not joined together, or not joined together. They're not all together. He separate the wheat from the tare, y'all. That has already been done. And he turned around and sealed the foreheads of the 144. So everybody might not know that he has actually separated, done his separation, and we standing around here clowning, thinking we waiting for him to take us to Mount Zion, and you subject to not even be going. Yeshua done told you. He done said more than enough. And it's enough been said, but there are people, they just figured, hey, I'm going no matter what she say. I already got my ticket. I got my keys. And they think they on their way. So I, Sister Deborah, say I appreciate each and every last one of you tuning in. Yep. Don't ever let no one divide a marriage or have the first and last say so over a marriage. Let your marriage be what it is, okay? And like he say, you can sanctify your husband, and your husband can sanctify you if you weren't in the light, and he was. Once you do that, and you show him what the Father is in you, it'll blow your mind. And my children would say, what their father, he would never take nobody's side over me. It don't matter what side he take over me. I already know what side he on. So, to them, they think that he puts me on a pedestal. What else he gonna do? He ain't never done nothing for me. Because he knows who I am in Yah. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's what it's really all about. Because when I got involved with my ex-husband, let me tell you something. He would probably still be where he's at, where he would be, where he were if I hadn't gotten involved with him. So after that, I just made sure I took care of him like a woman would take care of her husband, and take care of her husband's children. Make sure his kids are all taken care of. I did it all with no help. Hello. Shalom. Sister Deborah got to go now. She got to go to bed now. She got to sleep now. Sister Deborah ain't got no sense. I told y'all I don't. All right. So I appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in, and I will be back. You know what else? I'm gonna tell y'all something. It's something else about praying for your enemies. I think that's praying to release you. It's not really praying that they get something out of being your enemy. Poor David wore it out in Psalms. Kill him. Yes, David did. Yeah, I appreciate you too. David told him, quick, destroy him. Yes, he did. But y'all, I'm going to tell y'all something. Y'all, if you really know him, you'll know him like that. Ain't nobody won no battle but out of their hand. It was always Yah's right hand. And because they never knew that Yah's right hand was his power that created everything that his word spoke, they had no idea. Parting that sea wasn't no hard thing for him to do. He have been using that right hand since the beginning. Just because y'all dropped the ball not knowing his right hand is his all power. So that was what defeated. No one really talks about it. Israel never talks about how, not the fake one over there, how all them battles that they had to fight to gain all land, it was Yah doing it. David didn't do nothing to no giant. But why we won't get there? Because we don't want to go. Why we can't get there? Because we don't want to go. Go there. Go all the way there. Use your spiritual sense. David couldn't have killed no giant. The giant was dead anyway, because by the time David threw his little slingshot or whatever, y'all had knocked that thing out to death. Tell me the death ain't in the power of the hand of the Father. Come on. All them battles, David them fought, all these battles, all of them fought. It was fought by Yah. That's how we should see him, as even in our own living life that we're living in. Letting him know that we appreciate you fighting our battles. Satan ain't winning nothing over here as long as you're right hand. And I know about that right hand. I call on that right hand. And that's the same thing for you all. When you know that right hand, call that bad boy. And you watch it pull up. And show up and show out. I'm what you call total living witness to it. It will show up, pull up and show out. But it's just, people just never saw the Father defeat anything. But they want him to come get them, to take them somewhere. Get a car and drive there. How about that? And guess what, y'all? You never heard the Hebrew Israelites. These men, y'all. You know why Dan is not in the 144? Because Dan is right now over in Israel fellowshipping with the fake ooze. The fake ooze took Dan from Ethiopia, because that's where they fled, to Ethiopia. The fake ooze flew them from Ethiopia back over here to Israel. Yes, they did. And that's what Dan did. Dan became the true Israel. Out of the 12 tribes, Dan became their enemy. Let me show you what I'm talking about. When I seen the history of that, I was like, now why ain't these Hebrew Israelites talking about that? I wonder why these old ignorant men ain't talking about that. Because they don't know nothing. That's why Dan is not included. But Jacob had already said it. In Jacob had said it in Genesis chapter 49. Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourself together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Now you go to verse 16. Let's go to 16 and 17. And why is it now? I'm gonna show you how deep. Oh, there you go. You got it. You want me to tell y'all something that's sad? I'm finna get off of here because I'm starting to get upset about this. What's sad is you got these here unlearned, dark in mind Hebrew Israelite cults and groups that don't know a rat's behind from their owns. Let me say it like that. Now, here go Jacob telling them to gather together. Listen to what Jacob said about Dan. Verse 16. Genesis chapter 49 and verse 16. Dan shall judge. Watch this here. Listen to this. Verse 16. Dan shall judge his people. Y'all missed it, didn't you? Y'all missed it already. You see what he said? Jacob said, y'all gather yourself around. Listen to what Jacob said, 49. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourself together that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Jacob's about to die. Jacob is Yah's man. He's about to die. He finna tell each one of the 12 sons what they gonna be like. Now listen to this. Here go Dan. Jacob said to Dan, Dan, you shall judge his people as one of the tribe of Israel. Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribe of Israel. Want me to tell you why y'all messed up from the floor up and ain't no hope for a lot of y'all? It's because nobody has the sense to even have. Now, I ain't gonna say they can't have the Holy Spirit if he don't have them. But Father is so clearly seen, even in that study guide, look like somebody would question it. All these men be on these corners. All these men come on, we the true this, we the true that, you the true that, you the true fools of the whole world. You are the true fools of the whole world. Now, Jacob told Dan this, and here it is. They on the corner with billboards talking about the 12 tribes, and got Dan standing there smiling on the boards. Talking about the land, and they know this land is ours. They need to sit their tails down. Now, listen to what Jacob said to Dan. He said, Dan, ye shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. Guess what I found out? Guess what I found out? And guess when I found it out? Just now. I always wondered why. Oh my God. Woo! That's deep, y'all. All these years, I always wonder, why do the Europeans treat the Ethiopians so well? Because they are Dan. That's Dan. Dan went and settled in Ethiopia and mixed with the Ethiopians. That's why all over the world you can get Ethiopians to work in big places and big companies, and they here in the United States, in Atlanta, in Georgia, in Missouri, everywhere, New York, they run business and factories. They put them as head over. They are Ethiopians. Yes. And I always wonder why. Did y'all know that the fake ooze have taken Dan over there with them? And Dan been living with them all this time? Y'all didn't know that, did you? Do your search. No, don't do your search. Just sit down. Forget it. Because this don't make no sense. All these years, Father, I've been wondering why would they always using Ethiopians to go work in these big factories over in this country? Because they know that the Ethiopians is Dan, and they have, Ethiopian continent or country is not Dan. Dan ran into Ethiopia, and that's where they settled at. But the fake ooze allowed them in, I don't know, was it in 2000? No, it wasn't in 2000. It was sometime. They've been down there for a long time. Dan is back over in Israel, y'all. But they mingle with the Ethiopians. And that's why they telling y'all lies about the Ethiopians got the right Bible. They lying to you. The Ethiopians are mixed in with Dan. Dan is mixed in with the Ethiopians. And they flew them, Israel, the fake ones, flew them over to Israel and gave them the land over in Israel. That's where Dan is at. Now listen to this. The last verse. Verse 17. Dan shall be a serpent by the way. Now, why is it the 12 tribes got their tails on the corners talking about the 12 tribes? And Dan is one of them. You see how foolish they are? How could you dare stand around on nationwide YouTube devil platform telling people we the people, we the 12 tribes, knowing that Jacob told you that his son was a serpent? Why y'all want to lie? And then he says here in 17, a adder in the path that bitteth the horse's heel, so that his rider shouldn't fall backwards, so that his rider shall fall backwards. Why did Jacob leave that with us and we denied it? Oh boy. I'm so grateful that Yah has created me to learn. But it hurts, y'all. It hurts real bad. It hurts bad to really, you've been said Judah is cuckoo clock, but it just make you wonder, Father, what you gonna do with these people? Jacob had already said Dan was going to be an enemy to his tribes. Why ain't nobody said anything about Dan being over in Israel with the fake ooze? Why? Oh my goodness! Why ain't nobody saying nothing? I learned it through a program that they showed. We've been taking care of Israel. They bragging on the Dan. The tribe of Dan is over there, and they've been over there, y'all, for a long time. See, they never came to the four corners. And another thing I'm gonna tell y'all that's sad. I know Judah is gone. Judah been gone. Judah was gone before he left that promised land where Josh had put them in. Judah been gone because the first thing you would wonder, well, why would Judah be on all these corners bragging about the 12 tribes, and they don't even know where Dan is at? Jacob told them where he was at, and they still got their tails on corners talking about the 12 tribes. And guess what else, y'all? Let me tell y'all what's making really show you that we ain't got no sense as Judah. Do y'all know we're the only cuckoo clock that really being scattered as far as slavery in a way that we are Judah? And we sitting here on the corner talking about 12 tribes. And the 12 tribes ain't never done or went through what we went through. It's a cuckoo clock. I'm telling you. I'm a cuckoo clock. Because if we that dumb, I'm a cuckoo clock too. How did they do that? All these years. I mean, y'all, good 35 years I've been wondering why these companies, because I worked at too many companies and seen these Ethiopian men and the women too, overseeing workers in factories and main plant. And I used to say, why would they get them? What about them? Do y'all know they treat them like they white? Did y'all know that? I know now that y'all knew that. Because they turned against their own people, and that's what Jacob was saying. Jacob told us, y'all, and we still walking around here in dumb city. Talking about we the people, we the true Jews, you the true fool. And still ain't realized you the true fool. And this is why you don't see Dan in Revelation. Because Jacob told you in Genesis. You tell me if that's not dumb. Jacob told him in Genesis. Here it is in Revelation showing Dan ain't there. But Genesis answered the question, why ain't? But nobody talk about it. You all, I appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in. I'm out. I'm sorry for holding you too long, but I'm out. To me, this is just I'm just so grateful that we almost at that end. It's time to pull out, Father, ain't it? Father, y'all, you know it's time to pull it out. It's time to pull it out, Father, y'all. Yeah, it's time to pull it out. I'm telling you, this don't make no sense. So I, Sister Deborah, appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in, and I hope that you got something out of it. And even if you didn't, guess what? This sister did. More than what I bargained for, tell you the truth. Thank you. Shalom and shalom. My goodness. Oh, Father, help me.